On this episode of the Nationwide Real Estate Mastery Podcast, we sat down with Roxanna Wilson to uncover how to succeed in today's market. Welcome to the Nationwide Real Estate Mastery Podcast, where we provide actionable steps to help you get your first or next real estate deal. Now, during this episode, you're going to discover exactly how to succeed in today's market. Now, for those of you who are new, my name is Sean Young, today's host, and I love all things real estate. Now, before I introduce you to our incredible guest speaker today, I want to make a request that if at any point in the show you like what you're hearing, please give us a thumbs up or subscribe to the show so that you never miss an episode. And make sure to take a look in the description of this episode, as we've packed it with thousands of dollars in free resources. Now, today, we have the privilege to learn from a woman who successfully navigated in the business world. Now, prior to her career in real estate and business, she was in corporate America. But all that changed when she decided to go all in with her entrepreneurial business spirit. I would describe our next guest as someone who is passionate about showing people how to have their money working for them and not vice versa. I would like to introduce you all to the one, the only, Roxanna Wilson. Roxanna, thank you for being a guest on today's show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So, Roxanna, can you give our listeners a little bit about your background and tell us, where you're from and how you got started?
Absolutely, yes. My name is Roxanna Wilson, known as Queen Roxanna, MS Queen, Multiple Screens Queen. I am based out of North Carolina, born and raised in the country. I'm sure you guys probably already can hear it within my country, Southern accent. I'm from a very small town with little resources, but with big dreams. I moved to the city after having big dreams to move to the Big Apple to become a full-time model and actress and a clothing designer. However, I graduated at the age of 17, too young to time for myself, and didn't know much about life. So I wasn't ready without having my parents, of course, support and permission, but I didn't let that stop me. So I moved closer to the city when I had a job opportunity. And it went from there. I still was able to get scouted in the modeling industry, even started working even in corporate America, all while still weren't running my business, such as, in the past, I have been running several business, such as my own clothing line, for my clothing boutique, of course, representing myself as a model. And boy, oh boy, I was working a lot before even really knowing how in depth and how big this real estate industry is, exactly what it is.
Man, that is amazing. And let me say this, Roxanna, there's nothing wrong from being born in a small town. I was born in a small town in the same state you are from, in North Carolina. So, hey, we both are some small town successes.
Yeah, they say there's where the gems is hidden at, right?
Indeed. Nothing to stop us. Nothing's going to stop us ever. So I like that mentality that you said. The things that you might have needed, the resources might have been limited, but that did not stop you at all. You aligned yourself and put yourself in the position you needed to be. And not only now are you super successful, but hey, guys, we've got a supermodel on the line. All right. So Roxanna, that's great. So can you tell us how you pivoted? Like, how did you get into the corporate world or into the business world? Because I know that you started in the corporate world first. How did that lead you into the business world that you're in right now?
No, well, believe it or not, I would say I always been in the business world. What it was, just like everybody else, especially these listeners, you have a business, right? And the reality of it is the money is not enough coming in to support everything that you need to do. Even, let's say, for instance, when I was modeling, we had to pay for our traveling fees, right? So my 9 to 5 supported my me being a entrepreneur representing myself, because you still are a business. You still have to file a 1099. You still had to go on auditions. You may get the gig or you may not. And then once you get the gig, you may have to get paid a month. Sometimes it may be right away. Sometimes it may not. So just like many others, we always had to have something else working for us. I was honored to be blessed to have a group of friends that grew up within the same hometown as myself. That was already in the area, and they was telling me about employment because I actually got fired. I was a shift lead at Taco Bell. And I was like, man, my life is definitely is better than this. I'm not can't stay around here. This is not what I want to do. And I always just was a spontaneous individual. And I just really didn't have no clear plan, but I knew if I would just to get where I needed to go, that everything just was going to fall into place. So I told my parents, like, hey, I'm about to get ready to go to Raleigh, and I didn't know to the degree that I was fully moving here, but I did pack up some clothes and put it in my trunk, went on a job interview, and just trusted God and let the rest align. Although my father didn't sign the documents for me to go to the Art Institute of New York City, later on that year, I still got scouted to be a model. I didn't have a dream to be a model at the time. I just wanted to be an actress. I always wanted to be an actress since from as long as I can remember. And I did have interest with being a clothing designer. I was already making my own clothes. I always was cutting up existing clothes, making it what it needs to be, my own fashion. I would turn around and then sell it. I was selling candy at 3 years old, no cap, five, six,
Man,
7 years old selling. So, but I got introduced in the corporate world, just wanting better for myself. But it just didn't work out for me. I didn't fit in. It helped me, should I say, in the business world because I understood how to run a business for one. That was where I got my first clients. I also knew what I didn't want to do in my business, and I also knew what I didn't want in my life. And of course, the benefits was amazing, amazing. So it pushes me to just want it better. Like I was looking around like this can't be my life because I'm looking at everybody else in their 50s and 60s and they look like they're miserable. They was there for like 20 years, 20 years. I said, this can't be me.
indeed, indeed. I totally hear you. I totally align with everything you've been saying. Hey, I'm sitting here doing something right now. This may be what I'm doing right now, but this is not where I see myself, not even a year from now. So I love your mentality, which is taking action. If you want something, you go get it. These are key things that I want you guys out there in the audience to be listening to. And this is obviously why you've been recognized recently for a major award. Can you explain to our audience what that award was and what that means for you?
Yes. So I have been nominated to be the Mentor of the Year as well as the Small Business Award, well as it was business and management consultant.
Mm-hmm.
What it meant to me is just keep doing exactly what it is that you are called to do. Don't worry about if people know what you are truly doing. Sometimes there's more people paying attention to you than you can ever imagine. That award didn't have to have a dollar limit to it. It lets me know that what I do matters. It lets me know that everybody else that was also standing beside me or around me, names also that was above and underneath mine, know that I was a part of something that it first started as a dream, a vision, a thought. And I knew that as much as I've been recognized from this idea and it was transformed to this, that I can come up with something else and they're going to be even more better. So don't stop. Just keep pushing.
That is amazing. That is amazing. You caught my attention a few years back, and we're actually in some similar masterminds together and running similar circles. And I'm going to say that one of the biggest pieces of your puzzle, so to speak, that was attractive was the fact that you help businesses with business this ever elusive business credit. I hear about it all the time. People are saying, "Hey, I'm trying to get it. It seems incredible," and I've actually seen you put it. You're actually doing it. You're using it. You are showing how you use it. Can you explain to our listeners what would be the first step that they would need to take to actually utilize some of that same business credit that you're using?
Yes, I will absolutely tell them for first of all, stop selling yourself short and understand the difference between having a hustle,
Mm-hmm.
having a hobby, being an entrepreneur and also being a small business owner. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Whether if you're an entrepreneur or a small business owner, you can still maximize everything that you have within your business simply by understanding how to use other people's money. And that's OPM. We use these terms a lot, even in real estate. And when you register your business, or should I say, don't just randomly register it, you need to register it correctly. What happens is it allows you to also have things available for you for and benefits into establishing business credit. Establishing business credits is as simple as setting up your business correctly and then also registering it with the three known bureaus for business.
Mm-hmm.
And or sometimes you don't have to register it. There's just the way you can speed it up because naturally, organically, when you're doing business transaction underneath your business is also going to naturally just report it. I already had a business number prior before me even knowing what it was, even since back in 2015 before it became popular on social media, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you want to make sure that you're running things out of your business, not from out of your name. You need your personal, and you need your business. And your business will give you 10 times as much more than what your personal will ever give you. What do I mean by that? So for say if you'll get approved for $1,000 on your personal credit card, underneath your social.
Mm-hmm.
Underneath your business, more than likely it'll start you off with $10,000. And then say if you want to go buy a house, then you got your utilization is going to be high on your personal side. When your business side is not going to reflect on your personal credit. So this is very important on also how you can also learn how to be your own bank. Why I was able to expand my portfolio and successfully, even as of today, have over 30 plus doors and just recently closed on a mobile home park this past Thursday, which is to be announced soon, collecting even more doors above the 30 that I wouldn't have been able to do without business credit. So you want to have your money working for you and not you working for it. I have been that person with a 9 to 5 and also running businesses. And I felt like my drive, my hard work didn't really match my bank account. I ain't
Mm-hmm.
gonna say really, it didn't because I put in a lot of work. I
Mm-hmm.
worked my 9 to 5 like I didn't have a business, and I worked my business like I didn't have a 9 to 5. Although I invested smaller in real estate then,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't know the business credit part, the start of also OPM. And that's when my real estate career have changed and transformed. And I'm forever humbly grateful for it. But just set up your business correctly, get it registered, start running things through your business. I promise you it will work for you in your best benefit.
There you guys have it. Three basic actionable steps to help you guys start moving towards utilizing the benefits of having business credit. Roxanna, you said another term that is becoming super popular out here nowadays. I'm hearing it all the time. And I know that you know it because again, I've been witnessing you. Be your own bank. What does that mean for our audience out there that might be confused on what that even means?
What that actually means, and that is definitely a good question. When you ever say we were just having a discussion about business credit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if your personal credit is messed up and you're not your own bank, should I say, then you're gonna get declined. You want to be able to not limit yourself on your approval because then again, you do have like hard money lenders, private money lenders, you got hedge funds, you got angel investors. You can go on and on to how you want to actually fund any business of interest in or real estate. But there are always some particular guidelines. So when you build your own bank, that's more so is being able to collect money available within yourself, whether if it's your business credit, it can also be known, and you can use your personal credit because that's your income, your money. It can be part of your income, as well as it can be insurance policies, as well as it can also just be other businesses that feeds into it, and you actually able to fund your 20% down, or your 30% down, and or just to be 100% into any investments that you need within your business. So you want to be able to have that flexibility where no one is going to be able to decline you because of your credit score. Like even your retirement plan, you being your own bank. Banks invest into different investments.
And
So
banks are
don't rely
only
on the
going to
bank
lend
to
so
give you a
much.
loan. I'm sorry.
My apologies, didn't mean to interrupt you. Now, just to add
Mm-hmm.
on to what you were saying for our audience, and banks will only lend so much.
Mm-hmm.
If you, no matter how good your credit is, they're going to stop you at some point.
Absolutely.
This is huge. What you're sharing, Roxanna. I can promise you, there's a lot of people like taking notes right now. Going to rewind this, play it back because this is a big concept that's out here right now, and you keep going back to it, which is OPM, other people's money. Be your own bank. I hope you guys that are listening, the ladies and gentlemen who are out there listening, are grasping these concepts that she is talking about, because as business owners and as entrepreneurs, in order for us to be successful, navigate through some of these storms that we're seeing the nation dealing with right now, we have to have all of our ducks in a line, so to speak. And Roxanna definitely has them in a line. So thank you for so much for sharing this knowledge with us. And guys, what makes
Thank you
this
so much.
what makes our show so unique and so special is that each show comes with a detailed, actionable, step-by-step plan, like what Roxanna has given us today. All you guys have to do is do exactly what I said: rewind, pull the steps out, create your blueprint, and implement what Roxanna is sharing. Also, take a look in the description, because I'm sure she's going to have some nice giveaways and takeaways for us, as well as how to connect with her after the show as well. So, Roxanna, let me ask you this: what were some of your early struggles before you got to where you are right now, where you're shining, where you the business queen? What were some of your early struggles?
I will honestly say family members.
Mm.
Um, Somebody that's passionate as much as I am, somebody that have a dream as big as I do. And the reality of it is, what fuel that is your family. It is very heartbreaking when you may hear what they say naysayers say about you, and some of the naysayers get the information from your family members from things that they assume.
Mm.
Although it doesn't stop you or some of the things you may or may not care about, but eventually it still weigh a toll on you simply because of the energy that it can bring around you. And especially when it's not true, you also wouldn't want to have any wrong information about you, because you only have one name.
Mm-hmm.
you know God did say, I'll give you a brand new name. And what he mean by that, meaning creating something old to something new, meaning he can save you and give you a new reality. But the reality is, we only one person want to have this one body.
Facts.
So it's still even a constant struggle today, but it's not as bad. You know how they say, the bigger it is, the bigger devils you have to climb and stuff you have to struggle with.
Mm-hmm.
But I honestly think this also is my biggest success story. Because for every family member that may have doubted me, put me down, or may looked at me sideways or turned their nose up,
Mm-hmm.
there still was always a family member that also yelled my name out in the crowd, told me that I could do it, or just by me listening to their story or how they live and made me want to go higher, or me having the love and the ambition or the dream and the mentality to even rewrite my family story, because I didn't like the story that people felt that they had the privilege to tell about my family that they really didn't have no business telling, because it's all about their perception.
Mm. Powerful. That is a powerful perspective, powerful statement. And like you say, from their perspective, you are writing the story, your family's history. I love that mentality. You are definitely a leader out here. It shows through your wisdom, through the words that you're saying. You're definitely gonna go a long way and definitely make your family proud for generations to come. That is for sure. They're gonna be talking about, y'all remember Mama Roxanna? Yeah, she was a found. Your picture gonna be on the wall with like how they have them big fancy paint portraits. You're gonna have one. I promise you that is the type of legacy that you are leaving out here, not just for your own family, but for people that are out here in the real estate and in the business world. So again, I'm so honored to for you to share this wisdom with us. Roxana, right now, how are you doing all this? Are you running your business as a big team, or is it small team? Is it just you? How are you making this special stuff happen?
That's a good question. It's funny because I remember even back when the corona hit and everything was shutting down, I first had my 6K month, right?
Hmm.
So I had my first $100,000 month right when everything was shut down. And the reality of it was just mainly me and some of my VAs. And for those of you guys who don't know what VAs mean, that means virtual assistants. I do have multiple business. I am considered a wealth strategy times real estate mogul, where I have the structure of hiring individuals, which most of them was always independent on or supportive underneath me. You absolutely have to have a power team in order to run any successful business. And if you don't, then you're only going to have a job. I would not have had my success of receiving my first 100K month in the midst of a lot of businesses being shutting down if I did not have a team. And from there, I knew the only way for me to expand is I had to just grow my team bigger. And that's exactly what I did. I hired even another mentor to
Hmm.
teach me a more better structure within my business, which is SOP, standard operation procedures, just like how corporate America have,
Hmm.
which we had to run it when I was working in corporate America. So I understood it very well. But I needed the more structure of the foundation because I still had the entrepreneur mentality. I had workers, but I still was running it like an entrepreneur. You can't do that. So I would not be who I am today. And I would not be able to be on this call right now as my multiple businesses running right now. Money is coming in as I'm speaking. Thank you, God. That it would not be possible without them. So I'm humbly grateful to have such a power team to be able to work and help me to build my wealth so it can outlive me because that's my goal. I want to leave a legacy. I want to leave a will. I don't want to leave a bill. I want to make sure I also impact others. And I'm not able to impact others if I'm basically having a job working in my business myself. So I have to be able to delegate that, and that's how I can be able to be a servant to many other, to teach them how they can too, no matter where they at, that they can be able to do it too. I'm no different.
Man, want to leave a will, not a bill. You need to go ahead and coin that one. That's a good one. I'm telling you, so many folks out here are in that predicament where if they pass away, they're not gonna leave. Like the song "Papa was a Rolling Stone," only thing he left was alone, and we don't want that. We do not want that. So definitely, the things that you're speaking on are highly and hugely important for anyone that's trying to be successful in life here. So you spoke on something that I hear commonly on this show as well, which is you hire mentors. Even at your success level, you're still hiring mentors. I mean, that's incredible. That's amazing. You spoke about SOPs, which are standard operating procedures, and you say you wanted to stop running your business like an entrepreneur. I think I understand what you meant there, but can you expound on that just a little bit more about that so our audience can be clear on that piece as well? I think that's important.
Absolutely, I agree with you. What I mean by running your business as an entrepreneur is because, for one, me as I am also, I do own a tax business. We see it all the time. People don't have the proper necessarily tools to expand their businesses because they're doing things underneath the table. They what we say they making it work. They rigging it. They pretty much paying people cash or what we say underneath the table rather than um give writing them a check so they can
Mhm.
write it off on their tax expenses. As well as people wake up in the morning. They don't even have a clue of what their day is going to be planned. They just say, okay, I'm going to make some money. That's the entrepreneur standpoint where you might just only work on a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, or just on a Tuesday. You feel like this is the only day you have to work to bring your money. And reality of it is you need to work every day. whether if it's just a couple of hours, whether if it's not doing anything but working with marketing, or thinking about your SWOT analysis, your strength, your weakness, your opportunities, your threats. You got to understand how you're going to move from making $100,000 a month to $100,000 a week, to $100,000 day, to $100,000 hour, then to $100,000 second. Like, you got to be able to be ahead, and you will not be that if you thinking from an entrepreneur standpoint, because you're only thinking about yourself. Now, when you move your mind from an entrepreneur standpoint, then that means it's no longer you. That means you understand that you're going to have a team, which you're going to have certain procedures and certain tools in place in order for others to also be able to run the business, whether if you dare or not. Hello, and you're not by yourself. Most entrepreneurs feel like they don't have a support team, or it's just them. But they the one that's doing it all. They think they the jack of all trade. They their own accounting. They filing their own taxes. They doing their own marketing. They doing they ordering their own supplies, and they selling it if they dealing in the sales. You see what I mean? And they create everything. They all the hats underneath their belts. Like, you don't have to do that. Listen, you don't have to do it alone. It's okay to start off as an entrepreneur, but at some point, you want to understand that you must grow. Man. Can you become a millionaire as an entrepreneur? Absolutely. Can you be a multimillionaire? Absolutely. But you less likely to get there a lot sooner than someone that's going to expand and understand the concept of the power of having a mentor, for one, so you know how to hire people correctly in order to have the right people in your circle. Because then you got a lot of entrepreneurs, they stuck in between their old life and then the new life where they're trying to get. They don't make enough to really be around some other individuals, but they make too much to stay the same, or they just want to flaunt certain things around other individuals, and they still stuck within that mentality. Right. And they're not understanding why people don't understand them or support them. And it's not for them to do that. That's what I mean by having an entrepreneur mindset. You waste more of your time marketing to dead leads that's not even your customers anyway. Simply because you want to put your business in front of them, just because you're going to say, hey, I got a business. I got this thing that you want to use. Stop that. A true business owner, small business individual, understand that there's too much money to be made to understand that the person next to you, that they're going to be your competition. No, you're not doing that. You're building teams. We don't have squares.
Absolutely. Man, you are hitting on some powerful points, Roxanna. These are some topics that I'm hearing people always discussing. Man, like, I don't think I could hire somebody because they'll probably mess it up. All right, well, this is what I say to those people. You're gonna always be an entrepreneur. You'll always be in the entrepreneurial spirit. Roxanna said something that was key earlier. She says she's making money right now. That means while we're doing this interview. That means she has a true business. She has businesses that are operating, generating money for her while she's sleeping. That's what we want to aspire to as an entrepreneur, is get to the point to where you have a business that is working for you. And you can only do that by having a team and having, like she said as well, the right mentors to help you, show you how to build that right team. Man, great stuff. Great stuff. Roxanna, what do you think life would be like if you would have, never stepped out of your comfort zone, so to speak, and would have stayed in the town that you were from in North Carolina, working at Taco Bell?
Oh, that's not a question.
You can't even imagine that one.
Never been a reality. Yeah, no. And even if, let's just say I may not have moved out, I still would have been just impactful as I am now, where I live, where I would have been there. I still would have been a business owner, without a doubt. I always knew that $1 can make two can make four, and you get the picture.
Absolutely.
So no matter where you at, that doesn't mean that you can't be an influencer or make an impact. So I was already into a lot of communities events, making my rounds of wanting to learn better things of how to navigate through life. Because, we always judge about maybe how we dress, how we do things, how we eat. There's always something to be judged upon, right? But honey, wherever I'm at, I would have definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, shine because that's how God designed me to be. So for anybody out there listening who think, oh, maybe I just need to move. Yeah, you can move and you should, but don't move without changing your mindset, or don't think you can't at least start making a strive to push forward right now, right where you at now.
Don't move without the mentality. Man, that's big. That is huge. Oh man, we have reached the point of the show, Roxanna, and we are nearing the end of our show. And I've enjoyed this so much that I don't want it to end. But we're reaching the point where we're coming towards the end, and this section of the show is called Rapid Fire. This is where I ask you a question, and then you just tell me the first thing that comes to mind.
Okay.
All right. On a scale of 1 to 10, how strict were your parents?
Ooh, my dad 100, not even a 10. My mom a 3.
Get up early or stay up late?
I stayed up late.
How many hours of sleep do you get?
I would say about 6, minimally 6.
Favorite or last book read?
My favorite book is The Odyssey.
Nice. If you could be any superhero, who would it be?
I would honestly say my grandmother. She's my superhero.
Nice. Something everyone should do less of?
Blaming.
Something everyone should
Not
do
taking accountability.
Nice. Something that everyone should do more of?
Show gratitude.
NFTs, bang or bust?
Say that one more time.
NFTs or Bitcoin, bang or bust?
Bang.
Okay. If you had one wish, what would it be?
If I had one wish, I will definitely want my mother and my father to experience the life they didn't even know to pray for, with me and my husband.
Ooh, that is powerful. Powerful. Roxanna, I want to thank you so much for being here, being a guest on our show, taking time out of your busy schedule. What final thoughts would you want to share with our listeners before we wrap things up?
My final thoughts is, no matter where you at, stop what you're doing. Have your money working for you, not you working for it. I don't care if you are living to paycheck. That's something that you could be doing to push forward. You just got to get out of your own way. Stop letting everything else take up your time. Time is going to pass regardless, and you got to choose your time wisely. That's something you can't get back. But if you're ready to level up in your life mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially, and become all the way around independent, you can do this simply by saying, I am worthy. Understand that you are an asset, that you are not a liability, which means everything that attached to you wins. And remember, nobody can tell you that you're a liability because you understand that you're an asset. And definitely follow me on all social media platforms, Queen Roxanna Wilson, and tap in, love, and grow.
Perfect. I was just going to ask, how can our audience reach you to get some more of this wisdom and connect with you? Thank you so much for letting us know. Roxanna, I want to thank you again for being such a valuable guest. You have been amazing. And to our listeners out there, make sure you go take a look in the description to make sure that you can reach out to Roxanna, keep this connection going, ask her any questions, utilize her services. She is definitely I won't even say a guru. She is a guru in our business. She is at the top of her game and she is going nowhere but up. So make sure you follow her, stay in contact. And to the rest of my listeners out there, make sure that you guys stay tuned. Always check us out. We're always here giving great knowledge. And pat yourselves on the back because you guys made it to the end of the show. And most people never start what they finish, but you just did. Now, if you got any value out of today's show, be sure to share it on your Facebook page, like this video, subscribe to our channel, and let us know about topics that you want to learn more about. So until the next time, you guys can catch me on any one of my social media platforms as well. I'll see you on the other side. Roxanna, thank you so much.
Thank you, King.
With this crown on my head, I'm seated on the throne. The top is so alone. Only thing that keeps me going is I know my city love me. I know my city love me. I know my city love me. I know my city love me.